Good evening, everybody. Okay, this is the presentation of Mr. Ravi Pratap, who is training all the STCs on fulfilling various compliances required by HFI and WFH. I will be using his presentation to brief you on what the STCs need to follow to receive uninterrupted supply of AHF medicines. Uh, I warmly welcome you all to this training. First, I will give you a brief idea on understanding the QMS framework at HFI, role and responsibilities of the STCs in the QMS, compliances that needs to be fulfilled by the STCs. So this is going to be our agenda: HFI QMS framework, process for receipt of factors, inventory control, pharmacovigilance, handling product, good documentation practices, reporting to HFI, and Q&A. I won't be talking much about on COVID-19 updates. So this is the quality management system framework at HFI. So basically, these are the fundamental documents or guiding principles for HFI QMS. If you wish to increase your knowledge, then you can Google for CDSO guidelines and Customs Act rule. This second part, WFH policies and procedures, it is basically WFH fact sheet documents which are already being mailed to all the STCs. HFI policies and procedures are only meant to be understood by HFI management. So this is the HFI QMS framework. You only need to know is that there is a stage 1 management process which involves receiving the product from WFH and product storage. So this is the stage 1, and the stage 2 management process involves distribution of the product to STCs and all reports and returns. In both the management processes, two teams are involved. Here is the stage 1 team: ops manager Mr. Sanjeev Arora, assistant manager and executive. Stage 1 team involves these staff members and they are responsible for receiving product from WFH and storage. Second is this stage 2 team. It involves these staff members and they are responsible for product dispatch to STCs and all reports and returns. So all STCs will receive communication from this team through the email ahf@hemophilia.in. If somebody wants to note it, then please note it. Otherwise, you must all be very familiar with this email ID, ahf@hemophilia.in. So be it for training, product quarantine or recall, we communicate with this email ID. So this is our single point of contact for the STCs, ahf@hemophilia.in. And all the STCs need to send their feedback and reports to ahf@hemophilia.in. Just a while ago, Mukesh sir was talking about those 11 points. So answer to those 11 points should come on ahf@hemophilia.in. This is the basic initial process of initiating product distribution to the STCs. And the utilization reporting needs to be submitted online. Link and login details will be communicated later to all the STCs. So process for receipt of products at STCs. So once the product is received by the STC, then they immediately need to fill in the details of the received product, either mail it or courier it to HFI on ahf@hemophilia.in. So this is kind of uh, acknowledgement of receipt of product, and it is titled as inventory receipt report form. This is also being sent to all the STCs. In fact, this has been sent to all the STCs, and Mukesh sir will also be sending you to all. So it will be it also comes along with the product, because our dispatch team, they also send a hard copy. So in case that just if the STC don't have a printer, so they can fill in this hard copy, product name, lot number, expiry date. They need to fill in the details and sign it and stamp it. And as soon as they receive the product, they have to mail it to the uh, HFI. Now, uh, inventory control and traceability. So storage condition for the product should be in accordance with the manufacturer's guidelines. So what it means is that products needs to be kept between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius or as per the manufacturer's instructions written on the box. Second is product must be stored keeping the original packing of the product intact. That means vials and distilled water or other materials that comes in the box should not be stored separately. Access to the storage location should be controlled. Means only authorized person should be allowed to assess the factors. Now, temperature of the storage should be monitored and recorded in a refrigerator temperature log. So temperature, this log form is also mailed to all the STCs by HFI, and temperature to be noted once a day. And this log form is not to be submitted to HFI. It is only for the STCs to maintain, and they only have to note the temperature once per day. The utilization of the factors must be done in accordance with the principle of first expiry, first out. That means short expiring factor should be placed ahead of long expiry factor. Then all WFS donated products are prescribed medications and subject to prescribing regulations. All products given to patient must have a corresponding prescription. So record of physician's prescription needs to be maintained by STC. Log for usage should be maintained properly, indicating product name, lot number, quantity used, and product expiry. So STC can keep a log register and enter these details in those that. The temperature sensor of the storage refrigerator should be validated against an analog digital thermometer once every month. Means this is all about temperature calibration is required to be done once a month by use of an analog thermometer. Now, utilization records for factor must be shared with HFI on monthly basis along with the monthly stock report form, indicating the existing stock available with the STC. So every 30 days, submit the utilization online. In case online link is not working, then use this offline Excel file and mail it to ahf@hemophilia.in. Second is monthly stock report form. This is also needs to be filled at the end of every month and mail it to ahf@hemophilia.in. Temperature log, this needs to be maintained at STC only. It needs not to be mentioned. So while following FAFO, this color coding can be done. So now this is the example of FAFO. Short expiry is kept at the top and labeled as red. Then product expiring second is in the middle, labeled orange, or you can label it in a yellow color. Product expiring last is kept at the bottom and labeled as green. And you can also see the temperature display. And from here, you can record the temperature in temperature log, right? So this is some examples from Sahadri Hospital and Pune Lohade Hospital. Here is an example of a prescription. They are maintaining a record of prescription also. And at Lohade, they are maintaining this register where they have simply put on the stickers from the vials, so they don't need to write the product or lot number, because so manually in manual writing there is sometimes mistake. So this is a very great example, so you can follow the same. Pharmacovigilance and recall, this is the form. This needs to be sent to HFI if something like this is observed: a deficiency related to the labeling, identity, strength, purity, quality, or stability of a product, or possible failure of the product to meet any of its specifications. So all journal product issues should be reported to HFI within 24 hours, and journal product issue report form to be filled. This is a form, it needs to be filled and sent to HFI within 24 hours. So quarantine, segregate the product till further instructions from HFI or WFH. Quarantine is nothing but isolating the product in a separate temperature controlled area. If any STC doesn't have a separate facility, so what they can do is they can place a quarantine label with remarks stating the reason that why this product is being quarantined. Again, similarly, when there is an adverse event, a reportable safety event where an untoward medical event has occurred during product administration in a patient or clinical trial subject, allergic reactions, drug side effects, or interaction, exacerbations of existing disease, illness, or death, then this adverse event report form needs to be filled and sent to HFI within 24 hours. And till the time, again, you have to follow the same procedure of quarantine, label it as a quarantine, remark it, and segregate the product. This is product recall. Sometimes it may happen that the manufacturer of the product wants to recall the product. Then again, you reason could be these major causes or the minor issues. So we have to follow the due procedure also. We have to segregate or isolate the product in quarantine and wait further notification from the WFH. Quarantine and product destruction. Suppose WFH gives out a notification that the particular product which you have quarantined needs to be destructed. Then you have to fill in the details of the product which they want you to destruct, and this quarantine report form needs to be filled and sent to HFI. So this is the quarantine procedure: identify, segregate, wait, proceed, and report. Again, I'm showing you this product destruction form. This is the product destruction form. Uh, just in case any STCs who doesn't have a production destruction certificate with them, they can fill out this form and send it to HFI after destroying the product. So this is the example of the quarantine label I was talking about. So if you don't have a separate space, then you can do like this. You can place it a label and write down the remarks why the product is being quarantined, and you can also keep it in a locked facility. This is the ideal way, so that by mistake nobody uses the quarantine product to administer to the patients. So this is the quarantine arrangement at Lohade Hospital. And second is there is a dedicated quarantine refrigerator at Sehadri Hospital with lock. So you have both the options, a separate facility or a similar facility which you can label. Now, handling products with short expiry. If there is a STC with excess factor, then you have to identify alternate STC where you can transfer the stock. So there is a product request form which the receiving STC needs to fill and give it to the donor STC. Then the donor STC will send the product to the receiving STC, take a acknowledgement of receipt from them, and submit both the documents to HFI. Good documentation practices. So this is all about how you need to fill out the forms. So indelible handwritten documents, no scribbling, correct entry nearby the crossed entry, with date and initial, no backdating. So I will just give you some examples. See, these are some of the don'ts. You cannot do overwriting. You cannot scribble the dates, or you cannot scribble again like this. This area needs to be marked, crossed out. It is empty. So this is also a don't, and this should not be done like this. No overwriting or scribbling is allowed, or no, even no whitener is allowed. So what are the do's? If you have to write a correct date, the crossed out the wrong entry, write down the right date, mark your initials. You can also put a asterisk here and then give the reason why you have crossed this date. And at the time you are doing this activity, you have to date it as well. So this is the crossed out section. You cannot leave it empty. And when you cross it out, give your initials and the date at the time you have done it. Reporting to HFI and WFH. So basically this is the summary. So what? Inventory receipt report form. This is basically the acknowledgement on receipt of the product. Stock report form, which I was calling monthly stock report form. So every 30 days. Utilization report. This needs to be submitted online every 30 days, but in case if the online server or the link of WFH is not functioning, then you can use the offline format and mail it to HFI. Yes, at the rate you are at the rate hemophilia.in. So offline report needs to be sent to you are at the rate hemophilia.in. Then adverse journal product issue reports on occurrence of adverse or journal event, and quarantine or destruction reports in case of quarantine and destruction. So all the STCs are evaluated on the basis of fulfillment of these compliances.